Welcome everyone. Today I'm reviewing the legal aspects of nursing part 2, so let's get started. So patients have legal and civil rights. For instance, hospitalized clients have the right to wear their own clothes and keep personal belongings in an individual storage space. They also have the right to see visitors daily and have reasonable access to a telephone, meaning they can have private conversations by telephone and receive and send mail, unopened mail. In psychiatric nursing, there are 3 types of admissions. First, there's the voluntary admission, and this is where a client admits himself or herself to an institution for treatment and retains civil rights. There's involuntary admission. This is where a client is applied by another person to an institution, and this requires certification by a healthcare provider that the person is in danger to themselves or others, and it's limited to a 90-day commitment and no longer than a 1-year extended commitment, depending on the state. And finally, there's an emergency admission, and this is a crisis response for an individual displaying behavior that can lead to imminent harm to that person or another person. For emergency admissions, medical or judicial approval is required to detain anyone for observation, diagnosis, and treatment. And for those clients whose behavior is indicative of mental illness manifested in behavior that poses a danger to themselves or others. And if the person is being held against his or her will, they can file a writ of habeas corpus to request a release in court. Now, the law requires written consent to perform any medical treatment. This involves the client being fully informed about the procedure and that the client voluntarily consents to the procedure. Now, for surgical consent, this is done for any surgical procedure. However, minor consent must be obtained. So the consent must be written, voluntary, and fully explained to the client. And these explanations must include possible complications, risks and disfigurements, removal of any organs or parts of the body, and benefits and expected results. And the Good Samaritan Act can be applied if informed consent cannot be obtained. Also, for minors 14 years of age or older, they must agree to treatment along with their parents or guardians. Finally, the Good Samaritan Act protects healthcare providers against malpractice claims for care provided in emergency situations as long as the nurse performed in a reasonable and prudent manner. For instance, a nurse can aid a patient in a vehicle accident as long as the nurse performed in a reasonable and prudent manner. Now, always remember, safety and caring are the hallmarks of nursing, and be sure to subscribe for more content like this.